Yo, 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 yo. What is up, everybody? How you fucking doing? So, check it out. I'm on my way home. Another day, another dollar. First and foremost, before I start this episode, I want to say I hope everyone is doing well. I hope that you are healthy and safe during this COVID-19 global pandemic outbreak madness. Dude, listen, I got friends who are in the hospital with this shit. I know people who have died from COVID-19. Anybody who knows me knows I'm all about my conspiracy theories and shit, but this is definitely not one of them. So please, everybody, take it seriously. If you're listening to this, please, wash your hands. Make sure that you're keeping your distance 6 feet. If you're experiencing fevers or a crazy cough, just go get it checked out. If you can, go to your local doctor, go to your physician, go get checked out. I know I've seen videos of how they test for COVID with the crazy ass swab, but come on, just go get tested. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect the people that you love, and the innocent people around you. Secondly, corpse collection, we are fully back online. Some of my warehouses and stuff are starting to open back up, so go copy some gear, please. It helps me feed my family. It helps me run this fucking podcast. And it's a dream that I'm trying to fulfill. Yeah? So check us out, corpsecollection.com. That's KORPSX collection.com. You can follow us on Instagram too. I'm going to be doing a giveaway on there pretty soon. And just follow the movement, man, because this shit it's been an amazing journey. So today's podcast, I want to kind of relieve my mind a little bit. I've been so busy trying to bring you guys as much content as I possibly can, as much, interviews and shit to kind of stimulate the mind. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to kind of reflect on this most recent season that I've released here, season 2 of the smoking section, which has been focused on mental health, social health, emotional health, and spiritual health. So, we've talked on this podcast, on this season, I've talked to people like Garrett Flowers, aka Jay Stryker. I've had the chance to interview my big homie, the great and wonderful Sherwin Salonga, aka Beast, aka Baby Tie-Dyes. My homie Save, Francisco, and more. I had the whole Beast Camp on here. I had Beast Boy on here talking about love. And I just want to take a second and let you guys know that even though I'm pushing out this content, I'm still taking time to make time for myself. Yeah, I know when I first started this season, I said that I was going to try to bring an episode every single day, which I haven't done. You know what I mean? And the biggest thing is sometimes do I feel like I could be doing better? Yeah, I feel like I could always be bringing you more content. Could I chop these episodes up and, mix and match them and bring you more content? Of course I could. But I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? What I want to do is bring you the most authentic version of myself. Yeah, and I realized, the past year and a half, I was hustling way too hard. I didn't have the proper, work-family balance. You know what I mean? And it costed me a lot in the long run. It costed me a lot of things, and now I'm trying to regain my power and regain who I am. And that's going to be the main topic of today. Yeah, is sometimes we got to let the old versions of ourselves die so that the new and improved versions of ourselves can flourish. Yeah, I look at it as kind of like the metamorphosis of the caterpillar. You know what I mean? The caterpillar has to go into a cocoon and grow and go through its process, but in the end, its old self dies. When we look, and it turns into a butterfly. You know what I'm saying? And I use that analogy because when we see a butterfly, right, we no longer address it as the caterpillar. We address it as its new form, its new evolution. So even though I may not be the same person I was yesterday, or the same person I was 2 months ago, or even last year. I'm a very much different person than I was last year. It doesn't change, it doesn't change who I am as me, but my body, everything else, my external has changed. So just like the butterfly, it was still born a caterpillar. It was still conceived and created as a caterpillar. But as time progressed, it had to shed its former self to become a better version of itself. You know what I'm saying? So for me, you know what I mean? And what I hope I can relate to you guys is as we're moving through 2020, as we are fielding, this whole COVID-19 quarantine, we're fielding it day by day, step by step. And even if they opened up the state, here as I'm recording it, it's 11 o'clock at night here, April 16th. And, California could open up tomorrow and all businesses go back to business as usual. But even if it did, it would still take time for everything to get running again. Some people just barely received stimulus checks from the government. So while we're taking this time, I hope that we begin to allow pieces of ourselves to be shedded off, and the things that weighed us down or made us sad or whatever. I hope we can kind of start to begin to let that go. I was on Twitter. Yes, I use Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter too, @Corpse. But I was on Twitter and I seen one of my friends tweet about how she just put in a 2 weeks notice at one of her jobs. And, it kind of baffled me there for a second, because I'm like, yo, she's quitting a job when there's people over here begging for jobs right now, people who are out of work. And, and it's not to like chastise her, but it made me realize, like, yo, like, if something's not fulfilling you, you got to let it go. If it's not bringing you peace or bringing you joy and happiness or some kind of form of stability, then you got to let it go, right? And so, yes, this job that she had for a while, yeah, it was a big part of her and a big part of her existence. But if it's no longer serving her, then you got to let it go. You got to release it. Yeah, you got to let it die. Yeah, and you let it die so that the healthy version, the better version, the more fruitful version of yourself can prosper. You know what I'm saying? And those kind of sacrifices, we find it in many different things. Yeah, it can be, friendships, work, it can be hobbies, it can be intimate relationships, it can be your family members. Some of your family members you just need to cut off at the fucking wrist and be like, listen, dog, like, I can't fuck with you. Like, it could be your brother or sister, it could be your mom and dad. You know what I mean? Like, it could be your mom and dad. I know kids, and I say kids because they're 18, 19, 20 years old, right, who have good careers going for themselves already, but are still living under mommy and daddy's thumb. And it's like, yo, man, maybe you might need to just cut them off, And I don't mean to cut them off for the rest of your life. Maybe you cut them off for a year, 2 years, 6 months, who knows, right? But the point is that we have to hit a part. We have to hit a point. We have to get to a position in our lives where we allow the good to flourish, and that which does not serve us, to let it float away, just to peel away. And I hope people take that and understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like me with this podcast, like I do this podcast, and every time, little do you guys know, maybe little do you guys realize that every time I do an episode, a part of the old me dies. A part of the resentful, angry, frustrated, disappointed, and depressed version, an anxious side of me, it falls off. And I feel better every single time I do it. And that's why I've been so consistent with this podcast here as of late, and interviewing people. Even though we're in quarantine, I've figured out a way of how I can interview people, remotely. And it's been fun. It's been a true joy. And I just want more people to use that example. Please use me as an example. You know what I mean? Whether it's you pick up a new hobby or you let go of one. Maybe you start a new friendship, or maybe you end an old one. You know what I mean? Or maybe, and this isn't always about losing things too. Maybe you reconnect with somebody who you held very valuable in your life. Yeah? It's not all about losing somebody. It's not all about letting things go. Sometimes some of these relationships is meant for us to refortify. Yeah? And I know that raises the question of, well, Corpse, how do I know? How do I know which one do I go with? You'll know. If it brings you peace, joy, and happiness, you will know. You will know. You will feel it in your bones. You'll be like, okay, I need to hold on to this. There's a lot of friends who, me and them, we didn't speak for a few years. We didn't speak, and when we did speak, it was short. And now I'm on conversational terms with them. Are we best friends? Are we hanging out every single day? Are we doing this and doing that? Going shopping together? No, we're not. We're not. But I at least have the peace of mind and the peace of my heart to be able to be like, you know what? I made my peace with them, and we're good. Like we're good now. And that friendship will be rebuilt over time. So it's not. So what I'm saying, I don't want people to be confused with like, oh, what do I need to let go? Some things maybe we rebuild. Some things maybe we find that peace, you know what I mean? That, or the closure of an argument or a disagreement that might be hindering your guys' ability to be friends. Yeah, because as we get older, like I said, as we get older, there's certain things that we just need to let go. Just let go. Let go of it. It's not serving you any justice. It's not doing you any good. It's not bringing you any peace or any value. So just let it go. Just let it go. I have many friendships who went through the shits. They went through the grinder, and I was able to reconnect with these people because certain things I just let it go. One dear friend of mine, me and her, we had some disagreements and things were said, and we couldn't quite look at each other in the eyes no more. And after a while, we did reconnect, and I was very happy to reconnect with her. And it came to a thing of, we asked each other, like, or better yet, to be verbatim, she asked me, she goes, why did we all stop being friends? And I did not have an answer. Because instead of being like, well, you said this and you said that, I go, I was like, we just had to grow the fuck up. So to my point that I'm making, to this whole topic of the podcast, sometimes growing up means letting go of certain things, arguments, disagreements. Sometimes it's also about bringing people closer to you, right? And even though me and her had our disagreements, our arguments, our fights, whatever, her friendship still, I valued her friendship more than my own pride and ego about this argument, right? So please take that as an example, Please take that as an example. I try not to speak on my family, my personal family, much, because I just like to keep that private. But what I will say is there were certain things my sisters had done to me and said to me that I just couldn't let go for a long time. But after time, I let it go. I just let it go. And now it's very easy for me to communicate with my brothers and sisters. It's a lot easier for me to, love them and let them love me, So I hope these are some things that we all take, that we take into consideration. Because during this quarantine, if you're holding on to all that resentment, that hate, anxiety, and depression, it's just gonna eat you alive, And I hope that you guys are understanding that this time, right now, is the best time to start to really understand our metamorphosis, the ways that we are changing. Let the old version of you die during this time, because you're at home, you're in a safe place. There's not much else to really worry or think about, right? Luckily here in California, we have a rent freeze, we have eviction freezes, we have a lot of these things going on. So, we don't have to really quite worry about work. We don't have to quite worry about all these other things. And even somebody like myself, I'm an essential worker. And so even going to work, I find peace there. It's slow. There's not much going on. It's not so busy. So I have time to think about things. Yeah. I just hope coming out of, I even had a podcast kind of talking about this before, a couple episodes back. I want our normality coming out of COVID. I hope that when we are all back into normal civilization, I hope our normality is a one of peace and humble and love, and not only from us to somebody else, but from us to us, from us to I think of this as the us to me, of this exchange of, like loving yourself, man, like patting yourself on the back a little bit, understanding how much we've grown, what we've let go of. It's not saying, I let this person be mean to me, I let go of it, now I'm a punk. No, it's not that. Actually, it's not that at all. You're a butterfly now. You're no longer a caterpillar. You're a butterfly now. I hope that resonates. I hope that right there is the one. I do want to say thank you, for you guys listening to this podcast. Before I end it, I want to take a couple minutes and just really express my gratitude and my appreciation, my thankfulness for you guys listening to this podcast. I feel like this is one of my callings in life. I feel that every time I do this podcast, I get lost in it. Like the minutes just run right by me. And it's been an absolute joy doing this. And, I did the real episode that blew up the podcast was my episode with my big homie Beast. And, we talk on the phone a lot now, and we text a lot, and we had a real long conversation about purpose and what our purpose was in life. And he said that he felt like this was one of my callings, and I had always thought that too. But to have that validation, to have that, just to have somebody else see that in me as well was very reassuring, and it just made me feel very happy. And I hope he listens to this episode and gets to this part and smiles. And I hope you guys smile too. There's people there who support you, whether, they're big names or little names, but take that support in stride. It doesn't matter where it's coming from, support is support, and I want to show my support to you guys. So if you guys have, a clothing line, if you have a business that you're running, like, whether it's, you're a marketer, or you make face masks, or you make eyelashes, or maybe you do nails, or you do hair, or whatever it is, you're a podcaster too. If you do podcasts too, man, let me know. You're a YouTuber, you're on Twitch, whatever it is that you like to do, man. Hit me up on Instagram at Corpse. Hit me up at my personal one, Corpse, KORPSX. Make sure you follow me, because if you don't follow me, it's weird. Instagram like moves the messages into another folder, and I rarely ever check that folder because it's usually spam shit. So follow me. I'll follow you back. Let's talk about it. Show me your page, whatever. I'll shout it out on my Instagram, and then if you want to get on the podcast, we'll do it, and I'll give you a whole fucking hour or 2 hours, however long you want to do it, and we could talk about your business. And, you know, of course I'll have some questions and we could chop it up, you know, talk some shit. But I want to give. Yeah, I want to give, and I want to do it, and I'm not asking for nothing. All I just want is somebody to talk to. Yeah, I feel like that's my calling, yeah, is to be open with you guys. But I want to say thank you. I don't want to get emotional, but I would have these talks with my dad. You know, I would have these talks with my dad, and he's not here anymore. So I'm having these talks with you, with all of you. And I hope that you understand that me having this talk with you is me talking with him. So again, thank you, because without you guys, I wouldn't be having as many conversations with my dad anymore. And me talking with my dad got me through a lot, and it inspired me. It fueled me to do more with my life. Every time I had a conversation with him, every time I heard one of his stories, all the times I heard all these great and wonderful things that he was doing, it fueled me. Yeah. And that's a part of the old me that I've had to shake off. And you guys are now my new. Yeah. So let's let these old versions of us die. Let 2020 be our rebirth. Yeah. Let's move forward into the future together. Me, you, the whole world. Because in the end, that's what this is all about. It's all about growing. It's all about being better. Yeah. And above all, being happy. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really hope you guys enjoy this podcast. If you do, please hit the subscribe button. Please write a little review. You can put dope or just put some emojis in the review box. Leave a rating, whether it's 1 star, 5 stars, or 0 stars. I don't know if you can even leave 0 stars, but leave it. Whatever it is, just let me know how you feel. Hit me up on Instagram if you want to get on the podcast, man. Or if you just want to be like, hey, dude, listen to your show. Yeah, just hit me up on Instagram at Korps, KORPSX. Support the podcast by buying some shit off the website, korpscollection.com. That's KORPSXcollection.com. Yeah. That's how I feed my family. That's how I feed myself. That's how I put gas in the whip. All that. Yeah. I hope you guys have an amazing day, week, month, year, and life. Until next time, I love you guys. Stay safe. And above all, stay motivated. All right? Bang.